Hello everyone and welcome to this broadcast from Syria. We are now on the outskirts of the capital Damascus in the largest fairground in the country where the Syrian government is holding the 60th round of the Damascus International Trade Fair, which is the economic window for Syria to the world. The Syrian government has sent invitations to foreign businesses as around 48 countries have taken part in this fair and over 1,700 local and foreign companies as well. We can see the flags of the countries that are taking part in this year's fair, and most of those countries have been friendly to the Syrian government throughout the crisis. We can see the flags of Iran, Russia, Iraq, India, and we can also see the flags of Egypt and also China. So those countries are taking part in this year's fair in Damascus. The Syrian government actually wants to deliver a message from holding this fair this year is that the Syrian economy is recovering and that the reconstruction process in Syria is the next phase as the battles are nearing to an end, with the Syrian army is preparing for one last big battle against the rebels in northwestern Syria in Idlib province. So let's get inside and take a look at the pavilions, and let's take a look at what the participants are showcasing and what they have to say about their participation in this year's fair. So now we are inside the Iranian and Russian pavilion. Actually, they are both in the same section in this fair. On my right is the Iranian pavilion, and on my left is the Russian one. As we can see, the participants are showcasing some industrial equipment. We can see batteries for cars and also other equipment. We see also Iranian-made cars that are being showcased in this pavilion, the Iranian pavilion. Of course, Russia and Iran are both allies to the Syrian government, and they have stood by the Syrian government side throughout the crisis. And as the government has promised that it will be granting opportunities, more opportunities to the countries that have been friendly to Syria throughout the crisis. So as we have mentioned, now we are in this Iranian pavilion. As we move forward, we will take a closer look at what actually they are showcasing, and mostly they are interested in the equipment and the projects of reconstruction, as we have mentioned, because the reconstruction process in Syria is now being talked a lot about recently as the war is nearing to an end, and so the Syrian government is promoting this reconstruction process as the next phase that will begin soon. So this is one of the Iranian companies that have taken part in this fair. So we'll approach now with the representative here. Hello, how are you doing?
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Can you tell us about your company and your participation in this year's fair in Damascus?
Yes, we are affiliated to a holding Paya Saman Parts, and we are around 7 companies. We are doing the infrastructure activities such as dams, roads, tunnels, airports, and bridges, something like this. Yep.
Okay, so how do you see the prospects of doing business in Syria now as the war is nearing to an end, as the reconstruction process is being...
Yeah, I believe in, at the moment is the best time to enter to Syria market, because the war has approximately has finished, and the area is completely safe, and every companies or any countries can enter to this market.
Do you have high hopes about?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. We have, and also there is some negotiations between us and some Syrian companies, and we hope to reach to a certain point to start to get any project and start the work.
Has the government provided you with facilitation? Do you have facilitation to work in Syria?
We start our negotiations, and we hope to get some support from the governors. I mean, governments from Iranian government and also Syrian government to enter to this market. You're welcome.
As this representative has said, that of course they have high hopes of doing business in Syria in the reconstruction field now that the situation is becoming better. This was only one part of this Iranian pavilion, and we can now move to the other side, actually, to the Russian one, and to see also to take a look at what they are showcasing and what they have to say about this. We can see that there's this advertisement here talking about cables, aluminum alloy screen, and all things that have to do with electricity. Of course, the infrastructure in Syria has taken a strong beating during the crisis, and the electricity sector is one of them. So, of course, we will be seeing companies that are interested in taking part in the reconstruction process of also the infrastructure, including the electricity one. Okay, this is one of the companies. It's also, I think, its business is about cables. How about we interview the representative here? Hello.
Hello.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, we represent cable manufacturer from Russia. The name of manufacturer is Kamsky Cable.
What are the prospects of doing business here in Syria now after 7 years of war? Are you interested?
It is there is a huge demand in this product because it is necessary for rehabilitation of the country. So we think that we may be useful.
Other companies, do you think that the Russian tradesmen are interested in coming to Syria and do business?
Yes, sure. I think that mutual business with is always interesting. Thank you.
As we have mentioned before, we can see the optimism, the Russian and Iranian companies are interested in doing business in Syria, and to take the opportunity. Actually, the government has been promoting this fair as a golden opportunity for the companies that want to take part in the reconstruction process in Syria. And we can also see that there are also other Syrian companies that have taken part. We heard that more companies returned operative last year, and that more companies are joining the business as the situation is becoming better. So now, after we have seen some of the products and some of the companies from Russia and Iran that are taking part in this fair, we can move forward and to other pavilions and see what other countries or companies are interested in at this specific time in Syria, where the reconstruction process is the title of the next stage. So here we are now in another section in this fairground. This pavilion is actually about showcasing several car brands, and mostly Chinese car brands, which have become so popular in Syria in recent years, and especially this year, as the car market in the country has taken a strong blow because of the importation and exportation of Western cars, and because these cars are providing some good quality and also feature several options. So the Syrians now they favor the Chinese cars. They are buying new Chinese cars, 0 kilometers, and they are favoring this kind of brands. So we find more Syrian companies interested in importing and also assembling Chinese brands here in Syria and selling it as brand new cars. These cars have become so popular, as we said, and we are now here in front of one of the companies that are making these cars available. So let's interview this person. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, my name is Mustafa Akkad. I'm the business development manager for Adat Motors, which is the exclusive distributor for JMC and JAC in the buses and the heavy duty and passenger vehicles, and XAMG, which is construction machinery, and also Hantang and Peugeot from Iran, but mainly in the Chinese market we focus on. Here, as you can see, this is the Damascus International Fair. It's the second time in 8 years. Here we put some JAC models. For each model, we have the specifications list with the price, with a special trained promoter which knows all the specifications for each model. And they make a survey, they take the information from every customer, because every person who comes and sees the car, we consider him as a potential customer. So our target is to make our mother company or our partner, also JAC in China, for them to sell and for us to sell. So for every unit or every model, there is a promoter who asks questions, opens the car, shows every single thing, all the details, and they memorize them and understand them from A to Z.
Okay, so as the Chinese brands have actually become so popular in Syria during the crisis, and that more people are opting to buy Chinese cars because they are getting new products with more options. So how do you see the market in Syria for the Chinese vehicles, Chinese cars?
Actually, I've been to China many times, and I've seen that every year, I've seen the quality. The quality in China is improving greatly. I've been to their factories, to better with their management. It's improving not greatly, rapidly. People now they started to change their perception about the Chinese quality. The Chinese quality right now is at a totally different level. Many of their factories are roboted, they're all automated, and it's really something different when you see it with your own eyes. So I'm glad that I had the opportunity to go see them. And now the Chinese brands, they're controlling the market. First of all, we used to import them. Now people are assembling them. We send engineers to train in China. They get the necessary training, and luckily we assemble them here. So the Chinese market is not growing, it's booming in Syria.
Okay, so as we have heard and seen, the Chinese brands in cars specifically are being so popular in Syria now, as we have mentioned before, because there is no importation of Western cars. So those brands have become a substitute for the Syrian people who wants to buy new cars, not only used ones, because people have started buying used cars over the years during the crisis, because the prices of the brand new Western cars are unaffordable and they are so hard to get. So now the Chinese cars are being promoted widely in the country. So here we are now in another pavilion in the Damascus International Trade Fair. This is another Chinese actually company that is taking part in this fair, and as we can see, they are showcasing some industrial vehicles, some bulldozers and trucks and so on. So how about we get inside and speak to one of their representatives? So this company's name is Lu Gong. And we are here to speak with Mr. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Kyle Zhao. I come from Liugong, one of the biggest Chinese construction machinery manufacturer. Yes.
So can you tell us about your participation? What are the prospects? What are you looking for from your participation in Damascus Fair?
This is the second time we joined this exhibition, and I think this exhibition is a success, and we can find a lot of potential customers and who want to buy some machine from us. So I can find a lot of opportunities in Syria market. So I have the confidence for Syria market in the future.
Okay, so are you optimistic about having more business in Syria during the reconstruction phase that the government has been talking about?
Actually, yes, I think. And we will do a lot of things in Syria as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we can see, these Chinese companies are taking part in this fair, and they're also interested in the reconstruction process that is expected to take place in Syria when the situation clearly is calm after the last battle probably is finished. So as we can see, those are all the vehicles and gears that could be used in the rebuilding process in this country. So we are now in the Syrian pavilion. Actually, this is one section of the pavilion, which is here is a company about construction, a construction company, a very well-known construction company in Syria, and they are also participating in this fair. As we can see, building blocks, we can see concrete, and they have various types of construction materials actually, and also pre-made houses that they are also offering. All of these are a part of their contribution in this fair, their participation about the reconstruction process. As we have said, this is a construction company, and they have established a big pavilion here in the Damascus International Fair. As we're moving around, as we can see, concrete building blocks and also prototypes of pre-made houses and facilities. They also offer marbles and cement boards. And all of those that we can see in the background, the prototypes are for pre-made homes. This is something new in Syria. Some companies have started to advertise because there are a lot of destroyed sites in Syria and areas. So these pre-made houses can be a positive thing, a positive development in the course of helping people to adapt and to have homes in relatively affordable prices. So here we will approach the manager, the owner of this company, the Baalbaki company, the Syrian one. So we will do an interview with him and ask him more about their projects in the coming stage. What do you think the prospects are for the reconstruction phase in Syria? Now the government is talking about the reconstruction process. How do you see this prospect now? Does your company started doing reconstruction work in the country?
Yes, you see, we have some buildings were destroyed in our group, and today actually we started rebuilding what is destroyed, and not only us, also many of our friends who left the country are coming back and trying to study the possibilities of how can they rebuild their factories to start again. But this process takes time, and the Syrians are known, they are patient people, but the reconstruction definitely will start soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. As we can see now, all of those people are so optimistic, and they're looking forward for the reconstruction process in Syria. Actually, the country is going to be a magnet for foreign countries, foreign companies, and also local ones who are eager to start this process, which is not going to be easy, as this guy has said. It's going to take time, but of course, the first step has already started or will start very soon, now that the government forces have actually taken most of the country, and the situation has dramatically improved in recent months in comparison with the previous years of the war. So now everyone is talking about the reconstruction process. The government is promoting the businessmen and the Syrian businessmen, the foreigners. All of them are so interested, and they're looking forward to do business in the country. country now that the situation is coming better. And as we have said, the army in Syria now, it has won last battle in Idlib province in northwestern Syria, and after that the battles in the country will dramatically increase, or there will be no battles at all. So this is the time for the reconstruction, as the government is promoting and as the situation actually is indicating.